USC, whose prospects are a good bit better than UCLA's. They went 7-6 last year under head coach Lincoln Riley. Not necessarily what they would have liked record-wise. I will say they lost a lot of one-possession games. So team probably a little bit better than 7-6. Though then I'll counter myself and say I'm not sure Lincoln Riley is really a great coach, and that may be the reason they lose a lot of one-score games. It just kind of it's been a bit of a disappointing tenure so far for him at USC, especially considering how it started. But they go 7-6. Had QB issues last year. Miller Moss was supposed to be their guy after he had he graded out great in 2023. Did not perform the same in 2024. I think him and Lincoln Riley kind of got off the same page, and so they end up late season pivoting to Jaden Mayava, who in his limited playing time had 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He kind of fits the Lincoln Riley mold a little more. Lincoln Riley likes these guys that can make plays and like move the pocket, roll out and hit a throw. Pretty elusive. Miller Moss is kind of your more pure pocket passer. So I think Mayava fits the mold a little more, and that'll help the offense this next year. I got a good look at him because A&M played USC in the bowl game, and I heard it was a Jaden Mayava glaze session, which our DBs were so bad last year and he did cook us, so warranted.
It was a comeback win too, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Which that's what led Mike Elko to say what he was excited for next season was never having to watch a defense that bad play again. But he has pretty good weapons to work with in Mekhi Lemon. Had 764 yards and 3 touchdowns last season. He's back. He'll probably get drafted decently high this upcoming year. Jacoby Lane's also a solid wide receiver, 525 yards and 12 touchdowns last year. Great. That's second in the Big Ten. That's the best way to put it.
A touchdown monster last year. Didn't have the same yardage, only 525, but a touchdown go-getter for sure.
They did lose Zachariah Branch in the transfer portal to Georgia. They did lose Woody Marks. He graduated. Is he a Mississippi State legend? Can we get a confirmation on that?
He was here when we beat Ole Miss, I believe, so that would make him a Mississippi State legend in JP's eyes. I would also call him Mississippi State legend, I think.
He's one of my favorite Bulldogs of all time.
Yeah, just his
I remember
longevity.
y'all being pretty sad when he left.
Yeah, but also happy for him.
Did he go from State
to USC?
To USC?
Mm-hmm.
Who went to Washington?
Dylan Johnson.
Dylan Johnson. Thank you. I should know that. I'm a Husky man myself. But they also lost Deuce Robinson went to Florida State. You have that here. That's a big loss. Kyron Hudson goes to Penn State. So they lost some weapons, but I still think they have enough in-house options to, give Mayava good options. What are your thoughts on Mayava, both of y'all?
I think so. He had a good year last year in his 4 games as a starter. Went 3-1. I think it will be interesting to kind of monitor the QB room there. They have a 5-star, Houston Longstreet.
Hassan.
Yeah.
I think that's how it is.
Yeah. He was an early enrollee. He's been on campus since December. And so he's been participating in bowl practices, winter workouts, and spring ball. So he will have been in the building come the first game for 6 months. So he will have been around for a while. Not to say, so I'll be interested to see what that QB room looks like. If we see struggles from Mayava early, does Longstreet compete for that job? Does he get an opportunity to start? Or is this Mayava's job from the go, I guess?
I feel pretty confident it's Mayava's job for the long haul, just because I have enough faith in him to perform well.
Yeah.
But JP, you've become kind of our QB guy. So thoughts on this, Brody?
He's a runner more than he is a thrower right now. He's really good on the off schedule. But a lot of the off schedule is he just relies on the fact that he is more athletically gifted than anyone who's coming after him.
Yeah.
And so there will be a lot of times where he'll scramble for too long or he'll scramble just because he can. They did a good job when in the games he started. There were a lot of design runs that they gave to him, a lot of read options, which he excelled in. He's going to have explosive runs, long touchdowns for USC this season. He's got to develop those passer. He doesn't, because he's running around so much, you rarely just find him in a spot where his feet are set and he's just delivering a pass. It feels a lot of running around, stepping up the pocket, but that has been kind of stereotypical for Lincoln Riley quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams. That's kind of been their MO as well. So, like you said, it fits that Riley system well. I think he's the starter for the entire season. I don't think they have the room to start another new guy who hasn't played in Riley's system at all, even if he has been in the building. I don't think they can afford that.
They need a good season pretty
Because
badly here.
if that were to happen, then maybe Lincoln is in jeopardy of losing his job. They've
Sure.
got tough games this season, playing at Notre Dame, at Oregon. But I still think their biggest game of the season is Week 5 at Illinois, because I think it really could turn the tide for them.
Sure.
They had fourth quarter leads in 4 of their 5 Big Ten losses last year, which is kind of unprecedented to go 7-6 on top of that. So they're going to be 4-0 going into the Illinois game, and that is like a win. Then you have a bye, and Michigan comes to not to Pasadena, but to LA, and that's a huge game, and they can set themselves up for that. Lincoln, I think for them, they just need to rebuild this brand. It's taken
some hits.
It's taken a step back every year that he's been there. They have gotten one win less in the regular season, 8-4, 7-5, 6-6, and so they need to take a huge step forward this year, because they, in this NIL era, should be dominating, quite frankly.
Yeah. They have a really good class coming in 2026, just kind of talking about how they should be dominating it. It's a long way to the finish line, but it is currently the number 1 class. But I really agree that Lincoln Riley needs a good year this year, and I think that's a good segue into their over-under. 6.5? 7.5. I apologize. Man.
This, I think, so while you think, I think what JP said about that Michigan or that Illinois game is very important, because I think the difference in this team, if you go 9-3, beat Illinois on the road, and then lose to Michigan, Notre Dame, and Oregon, I think that's very different than if you're 8-4 and you lost to Illinois. I think that's kind of the fence between, on one side, you're part of that second tier because you lost to Illinois, and on the other side, you could be vying for a bottom of that top tier because you beat Illinois, who is out of the top, in the second tier, and then you lost to the 3 teams in the top tier.
Yeah.
And then Notre Dame, who was in the championship game last year. So I think you can pitch it to where that Illinois game, like you said, JP, is maybe the most important game on the schedule, because it is the difference between, are we, halfway down the second tier because we can't beat Illinois, or are we above them? I think that's really important. I'm glad you pointed that out. I'm going to go – go ahead.
Yeah, one more point on that. That's a big one. And if they win that, then I think the Michigan game becomes twice as big. I don't think you can – I don't care what the roster is or the discrepancy is there. Losing to a freshman quarterback in LA, I think, would be a huge hit. That should be a game they should be favored in if they're undefeated at the time, and it's a game they should win as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the under though. I've learned to not trust Lincoln Riley. We saw they blew a lot of fourth quarter leads last season. They couldn't win close games. I'm not the biggest fan of him as the head man, so I'm gonna take under. They'll make it's not gonna be disastrous. They'll make a bowl.
I think I'm going to go over. Even if they lose that Illinois game, I think they can get 8 wins out of this schedule. Lose to Oregon, Notre Dame, Michigan, and then Illinois. I think
you also got Notre Dame on the schedule there.
Yeah, it
you
is
to Nebraska.
Yeah, to Purdue. Don't forget about the Boilermakers.
Sure.
No, I think that they can hit the over. I think that they will be more talented than at least 8 or 9 games on this schedule. So, yeah, I'm going to take the over. It is difficult because it's Lincoln Riley, and he hasn't done a whole lot to prove that he can, coach a team to sustain success. But I'm going to hope that he has his guy finally after 2-3 years of trying to make it work with other guys like Miller Moss. And who was it before that?
It was Caleb.
Was it Caleb before Moss?
It was.
Yep.
That feels like an eternity ago. All right. Well, I'm still gonna trust in Lincoln Riley to make it work finally.
Sure.
I've got him going over.
I've got the over as well. I think they're the dark horse team to reach that top tier in the Big Ten. I think the profile is there. I think the hype is there. I don't necessarily understand the hating on Lincoln Riley when he was extremely productive at Oklahoma, making the playoff multiple seasons, multiple
Times
Heisman
change.
winning quarterbacks, and a Heisman winning quarterback at USC as well. I understand how the last 3 seasons have looked, but I don't think we're ready to, push that on the table yet until this season goes poorly, which you are predicting. So I think because of that, it may have already been made up in your mind how you feel.
Maybe. I don't know. They should be better than this. They should have been better than this these past couple seasons.
Yeah.
And he's the reason I think that hasn't happened. So
I had another thought, and so I could see a world where they get like 9 wins, and the boosters and the fans like double down, and then they lock in that number 1 recruiting class. They bring in a good transfer class, and then next year we're looking at it over and under like 8.5. Like this could be not.
it's
like,
a swing year for
It is
sure.
a swing year, and we're talking about is this Riley's last year, hot seat, job on the line? But if they put together a 9-win season here, there's a good chance the boosters and the fans go, Lincoln Riley is the guy, and then they just like throw everything they have at next year's transfer class, and they finish out that high school recruiting class and finish it out at number 1.
Yeah.
They've got another year of Maava, other guys are coming back. So this could be. We say it's a swing year, and we've been talking about the downside, but let's not forget that if it swings the right way, we could be talking about USC as top 5 in the Big Ten favorites next year.
Yeah, I mean, the boosters help him get across and fans in terms of the class, but I also just feel like it's not like there's been a lack of support there throughout his tenure.